Lesson number 10. In summary, implications of buying and selling options. This is a very important lesson, so pay a special attention to it. Here's what you will learn here. Rights and duties of options buyers and sellers. And, moreover, the key difference in terms of expectations of buying versus short selling of options. Summary table of the rights and duties of option buyers and sellers when there is the physical delivery at maturity. The long call provides to the holder the right to buy, so to be delivered of the underlying. The long put gives the holder the right to sell, to deliver the underlying. What about short options? A short call provides the obligation to sell, so to deliver the underlying, because the buyer of the option has the right to buy. From who? From the short seller of the option, who has the obligation to respond to the will of the buyer. The same applies to puts. The short seller of a put has the obligation to buy. Why is that? Because the buyer of a put has the right to sell. To who? To the short seller of the put, who has the obligation to respond to the will of the buyer. So he has the obligation to buy, to be delivered the underlying. What happens with the settlement is cash. A long call provides a cash collection proportional to the climb beyond the break-even and a partial or full loss of the premium otherwise. A long put provides the collection of money proportional to the drop below the break-even or a partial or full loss of the premium otherwise. A short call provides a limited collection equal to the premium in the event of a stability or a price drop, or a loss of money proportional to the climb beyond the break-even. A short put provides a limited collection of money equal to the premium in the event of a stability or a price increase, or a loss of money proportional to the drop below the break-even. And here we have introduced a very important distinction between the position of the buyer and the position of the seller. Let's see it in another way. Is it better to be buyers or writers? Now we have to understand whether in general terms and above all in statistical terms it is better to be buyers or short sellers of options. To give an answer to this doubt of fundamental importance, we must understand the real meaning of the individual choices. Observe the following figure. We have long and short in the rows, calls and puts in the columns, and some strange text in the cells. Let's see what all of this means. The meaning of the cells in the table is the following. In the case of a long call, the symbols plus can be read as I am positive about a positive instrument. I think positive. The first plus is I think. The second plus is positive. It means I think the underlying will rise. The symbol plus minus, long put, means I think negative. I think the underlying price will drop. In the first case, I am bullish. In the second case, I am bearish. I think it will go up. I think it will go down. What happens for the short positions? A short call means I am not positive. I don't think positive. I don't think the price will increase. A short put means I am not negative. I don't think negative. I don't think it will drop. I am not bearish. And now a very important question arises. Is a plus plus the same as a minus minus? Is being positive the same as not being negative? This is a very, very important question. And indeed, things are much more complex. than it seems. To say I think positive and I don't think negative are not the same thing. And similarly, saying I think negative and I don't think positive are not the same thing. Here we have I think positive is a long call. I don't think negative is a short put. I think negative is a long put. I don't think positive is a short call. When we invest in stocks, we have three possible scenarios at some moment in the future: upside, stability, downside. One favorable, one neutral, one unfavorable. About a third of chances to earn, a third to lose, a third to remain tied. That is about 2/3 of the chance of not losing. When we buy a call option instead, let's take a step back. I buy stock because I expect that the price will go up, otherwise it would be stupid to purchase that stock. But an alternative to buying the stock could be to buy a call option. Same hypothesis, I think the price will go up. But the results are very different, because if I buy the stock, I have 2/3 of the chance of not losing. If I buy the option, I lose even in the case of stability, because if at maturity the spot price is equal to the strike, I will lose all the premium paid. So here we have two scenarios against and only one in favor, about 2/3 of probability of losing, not 2/3 of probability of not losing. The same applies to the purchase of a put. A profit is obtained only if the underlying goes down. And to be honest, the problem is even greater, because the premium of a call can be lost even if the underlying rises, but not enough. Think of a call strike 120, purchased when the spot price is 100. Even if between today and the maturity, the underlying increases up to 120, we still lose all the premium paid. And the same applies to puts, if the underlying doesn't drop enough. It is also clear now that everything depends on the strike that we pick. And this brings us back to the problem of the probabilities of individual events, which we have already mentioned above. And here is where the need to be able to have statistical market analysis tools capable of providing the trader with clear indications regarding the convenience or otherwise of certain strategic choices is strongly engaged. So far, that's all. Thank you for your attention.